Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. If you wanna get ripped, just light up the spliff. Bang your head to the opening riff. What's happening, y'all? And Merry Christmas, everybody! It's your boy J-Dub here on episode 13 of The Real Rush here on YouTube. Let's go ahead and just get on down to it, ladies and gents. Because I keep saying I'll make these things shorter and they keep running longer. So let's not do that. Let's go ahead and get on down to brass tacks so everybody can go ahead and do their holiday thing. We got a couple new releases for y'all this weekend. Two of the new releases from this weekend we've already reviewed through our special, awesome, Real Rush powers of advanced screenings. Bumblebee, that came out this weekend. We already reviewed that. Check out the full review of that in episode 11. And Aquaman, that drops this weekend. Or it's already dropped this weekend, I should say. We got the full review for that in episode 12. They're both sick movies, but I'm a little bit more partial towards Bumblebee. I never thought I would say that about a Transformers movie over any type of comic book / superhero movie, but here we are. It's not by a wide margin, but the margin's there. So for the full reviews, Bumblebee, Aquaman, episode 11, episode 12, check those out respectively. Now speaking of episode 12, two things to note. Number one, I do have a little bit of a correction to make. Last week I stated that I had just broken last month's record, of 7 movies in a single weekend. I do apologize, because last month's record I did actually hit 8, as I stated in one of my earlier episodes, but I can still consider this record broken, seeing as in last month's record was over a Thursday through Sunday period. This one that I just did was over Thursday through Saturday. So that's 8 movies in a much shorter time period. Record, I'd say still broken. We rushed the hell out of it. Booyah! And also, in pertinence to last week, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to episode 12. Because like I said, it was a long-ass episode. And if you actually sat through all 45 minutes of last week's episode, I just want to give everybody a round of applause and epic thanks to y'all for being a super duper mega ultra uber real rush fan, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Have fun, y'all. Love Jada. Peace. If only it were that easy. No, I'd be out of a job. But like I said, let's go ahead and keep tonight shorter so we can all go ahead and do the holiday thing, the Christmas thing, and everything. Get them gifts wrapped and everything. First up, getting on down to brass tacks. Unfortunately, I do not have the review for They Shall Not Grow Old for you this episode. As I stated last episode, flat tire. We had that situation. But, thankfully, we got that fixed. And They Shall Not Grow Old, it's a very, very limited release documentary where it's only showing like a few showings one day and then another day. That one day, that's already passed. So we only got one more day left where we could possibly see it. That's this coming Thursday. So hopefully we're going to go ahead and knock on the wood here, and hopefully I will have that review for y'all next week. If you were looking for that in this episode, I do apologize. But like I said, we got the flat tire all squared away, and hopefully I'll be able to get that to y'all next episode. But for this episode, it means we only got 3 movies. So let's go ahead and get on down through these. We started things off this past Wednesday night, seeing as that we had early releases. You know, studios try to capitalize on the long holiday weekend and want to, you know, get that gross margin in, man. Wednesday night, we saw a sequel that was 54 years in the making, ladies and gents. I am talking about the new Disney movie, the new Disney family film, Mary Poppins Returns. Mary Poppins would slap the hell out of me if I said returns. That's not proper English. I'm sorry, Mary. Now, 54 years in the making. 54 years in between sequels. That is one of the longest gaps between the original and the sequel in film history. So that's worthy of note as itself. Now, with that kind of a gap, is this movie, it was heavily anticipated. Is it good or not? I'm about to tell you. Mary Poppins Returns. This time around, we got Emily Blunt as the title character. This time, Emily Blunt is Mary Poppins, descending from the clouds and reuniting with the Banks children, now all grown up, played by Ben Whishaw and Emily Mortimer. And this time, she gets to meet the newer set of Banks children to help them save the Banks family home via use of imagination and some pretty catchy musical numbers. This also stars Lin-Manuel Miranda, Julie Walters, Colin Firth, Meryl Streep, and we even got some cameos by Angela Lansbury and Dick Van Dyke from the original Mary Poppins, as well as a couple of other old school Disney classic musicals. Mr. Dick Van Dyke, DVD, good to see you as always, sir. And Miss Lansbury. I was a little bit of a Murder, She Wrote fan when I was a kid. But anywho, Mary Poppins Returns. It's Disney family fare at its finest. Is it as good as the original? I haven't seen the original in quite a long time. But I still stand by my original affirmation that it's the original. We wouldn't have Mary Poppins Returns if she didn't have somewhere to go to return in the first place. So the original, in my mind, still stands. Maybe I'll give that a viewing at some point. But right now, with Mary Poppins Returns, once again, Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins. It's almost like she was born to play this part. Like she actually channeled her inner Julie Andrews like it was second nature, in a sense. The musical numbers and the choreography are impeccable, and the animation, it's very retro and very reminiscent of the original to spark up that great nostalgia, especially for those who grew up, loving the original movie. So, Mary Poppins Returns, go ahead, gather up the fam, it's holiday time, you know they're around, you know y'all don't want to stay cooped up in the house all week, all day, however long your vacation may be. So go ahead and rally up the posse, take the fam, go see Mary Poppins Returns, and fall in love all over again with this new timeless classic. Let me know what you think. As I stated last week, this is up for Best Picture at the upcoming Golden Globes in the musical or comedy category. How will that play into the Oscars? We shall find out, ladies and gents. But right now, on the Real Rush Ticket, our Thursday night premiere this week, Welcome to Marwen. Now this movie is based on the true story of Mark Hogenkamp, who was severely beaten after admitting to some ultra alpha males drunkenly one night that he enjoys wearing women's high heels. This all happened at a bar back in 2000, and this was a hate crime assault that was so physically devastating that Mark was left with absolutely no recollection / no memories of his life before the attack. He coped with this by creating a model town called Marwen, which is set in Belgium during World War II, and basing its action figure inhabitants, its characters, on his friends in real life. And they're all portrayed by the actors and actresses who played their reality counterparts. The figures themselves tell a story of, what's going on in Mark's head. In Mark's head throughout the movie. Representing his thoughts, his feelings, and his inner demons that he still has to deal with. In this movie, we have Steve Carell as Hogenkamp. We also have, in this movie, we have Leslie Mann, we have Janelle Monáe, we have Aiza Gonzalez, and we have Diane Kruger. I felt this movie was absolutely outstanding, y'all. And I think I might be one of the few people out there giving this joint a positive review right now. It's emotional, it's dark at times, but overall, I found it very heartwarming and inspiring. The action figure animation is unlike anything I've ever seen done. Kind of reminiscent of Small Soldiers, but this time, you don't just have action figures being animated. You have the actual actors and actresses. I don't know how they did it. I still need to look into this myself. But you have the actual actors and actresses, like their expressions and their facial features and everything as the action figures. I don't know how better else to explain it. If you see the preview, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's directed by Robert Zemeckis. As we know from his past films, you got Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, Castaway, Flight, What Lies Beneath, many other titles. The man is known for some visual effects, stunning visual effects, I should say. And there are a few Back to the Future references in this one. So that was pretty cool. And it's very underrated currently, which is a shame. I think Welcome to Marwen is getting a bad rap because its narrative is just simply, for lack of a better term, simply misunderstood. The PTSD that Carell's character, Mark Hogancamp, has to deal with, that's a hard topic to tackle, especially in this kind of situation. And I feel it's difficult for some moviegoers to accept, what's being portrayed on the screen there. It's for that very reason that I feel that it's an important film and an important story to be told, so that we as humans can continue to learn to live our lives without fear or worried about what others might think, or judgment from others, anything of that sort, and how we must continue to accept others for what they are and who they truly are. I strongly identified with Mark Hogancamp's portrayal in this movie. As some of y'all may know, and if you're a first-time viewer of The Real Rush, if you don't know, now you know, I've been an almost lifelong wearer of women's hosiery, particularly tights and pantyhose. For some reason, well actually no, not for some reason, there are a couple things from my mind that I could think of from my childhood that might have kind of sparked that interest, but I just love the look of them, I love the feel of them, and as Carell's portrayal of Hogankamp states at some points during the movie, it helps him connect with the quote-unquote essence of women. If that makes any sense, just kind of let that sink in for a minute. Now, because of this, I had a lot of trepidation for the longest time about admitting to anybody that I wore such things. What might they think? What would their reaction towards me be? Would they still be as cool with me afterwards as they were before, they got this kind of information? And just a couple years ago, probably about 8 or 9 years ago, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, outed myself as, a hosiery wearer. And thankfully, most of the people that I expressed this to were and have been and still are very accepting of that fact. But at the same time, I did have to deal with some ridicule and some hurtful remarks as well that I did need to overcome. But I persevered, will continue to. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I'm not trying to put any bias on, between my story and what happens in Welcome to Marwen, but the point I'm trying to get at is the reason that I feel that this is such an important story to be seen and heard is that I hope that this helps others to do the same. Not be afraid to express themselves, if it's something that, it's that you're comfortable doing. I describe tights as kind of like a security blanket for me. And you're not hurting anybody, say go for it, man. Woman, anybody. It doesn't matter. We're all equal. We're all here to love. We're all here to accept. We're all here to understand. And that's human. So don't forget that. That's why I feel this movie is so important. Hopefully, like I said, it continues to help others be able to express themselves in the way that they see fit without any type of negative retribution. So welcome to Marwen. Check this out. I highly recommend it. And I do want to hear your thoughts on this movie, on especially this one in particular, because it is getting such a polarized reaction right now. Excuse me. I really want to know what people are truly thinking about Welcome to Marwen. So check it out. Currently in wide release. Got a holiday weekend to check it out. And last but most certainly not least, on the Real Rush ticket, our Friday night premiere, our earlier today premiere, we have the new comedy, Second Act. Now, this is sort of a second wind, acting-wise, for Jennifer Lopez. In this movie, she plays a woman in Queens without any type of college degree who finds corporate success after her resume and her social media accounts are embellished to be more impressionable. This also stars Leah Remini, Vanessa Hudgens, and Milo Ventimiglia. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. If I'm sorry, Milo, I do apologize. Hope I didn't fudge it up too much. This is directed by Peter Siegel, who some of you may know, directed Tommy Boy, Anger Management, The Longest Yard remake, amongst other comedies as well. Second Act, it's not great. It is somewhat formulaic / predictable, but it is enjoyable. It does have some good laughs and a decent story, not to mention a pretty good performance by J-Lo. Most, however, will want to matinee this if you do choose to see it. So, take that for what it's worth. Second Act. Check it out. And let me know. Let me know about any of these. Just let a brother know. What you think? Let's get a conversation going. Let's talk. Let's communicate. All three of those movies I saw at Regal this week. And I had to use, I did have to use some of the massive amount of Regal Clown Club. Some of the massive amounts of Regal Crown Club points that I've accrued since I became a member at the start of the Real Rush early last year. We're talking in the 300,000 range, ladies and gents. If some of y'all saw my Instagram earlier this week, I was up to 320,000 some odd points. Well, I had to start redeeming those because they do expire. So because of that, all three of these movies, I paid a grand total of $4.20 to go see all three of these movies. So thank you, Regal Crown Club, for having me. And I'm proud to be a member, y'all, as I am for AMC Stubs and Cinemark Connections, and I believe those are all the ones that I'm a member of. But yeah, I'm hardcore, y'all. That's how we roll. And that, ladies and gents, is a wrap for episode 13. Speaking of rap, I got some shit to rap, and I know y'all do too. So, next episode, episode 14, our last episode of 2K18. That'll be coming up to y'all next weekend. Next episode, I'll have reviewed for y'all. We're gonna have Vice. Really looking forward to that one. Absolutely. Gonna have Holmes and Watson. If Beale Street Could Talk, that's getting some amazing acclaim right now. That's the new Barry Jenkins film, the man who did Moonlight, which ended up winning Best Picture over La La Land a couple years back. Yes, definitely looking forward to that one. On the Basis of Sex, which is the new Ruth Bader Ginsburg biopic. You got Felicity Jones playing Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm definitely looking forward to that one as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have the review for They Shall Not Grow Old for y'all next episode as well. And This week is also the release of Nicole Kidman's new movie, Destroyer, directed by Karen Kusama. Another already being critically acclaimed movie that's garnering a lot of steam going into award season. IMDb has that set as a release date of December 25th on Christmas Day. With this kind of movie, I'm thinking it's going to be pretty limited to begin with. So if I can find a showing, absolutely, I'll be there. I'll have the review for y'all next episode. But more than likely, we're going to have to wait a little bit on that one. But fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. And over the next couple days, I'm going to start to get working on my bottom and top 10 lists of 2K18 so I can have those for y'all after the new year, once 2K18 is officially all wrapped up and we welcomed in the New Year's, baby. And in between this week and next week's episode, as a matter of fact, later on tonight, I will be guest podding, because I'm not guest hosting, I'm not guest starring. I guess guest starring. I'll be a guest on the District Wasteland podcast later on this evening. That episode will be airing a little bit later on, and once that link becomes available, I will get that to y'all, so y'all can give that a listen as well. Awesome podcast. Definitely check it out. But in the meantime, ladies and gents, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all, go ahead and type those into the YouTube page on which you are viewing this episode right here. Thanks to everybody who subscribed so far, and please continue to do so. Run tell your friends, keep spreading the word of the Real Rush like everybody should be spreading love and joy, especially around this holiday season, ladies and gents. And continue to stay tuned. And once again, thanks for tuning in. But once again, I always seem to jam at the end of the episode. Once again, ladies and gents, you may continue to follow me on Instagram for my live movie check-ins as they occur. That is at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. And for The Real Rush, I am JDub, ladies and gents. We'll see y'all next weekend for episode 14. So until then, have fun, y'all. Love JDub. Enjoy yourselves. Remember, when you're at the movies, gotta keep the lips shut. Gotta keep the cell phones away. Gotta keep them on non-pleasure vibrate. And you gotta turn the brightness down too, because you pull that thing out and what? The heavens look like they open up in the fucking theater. Man, I almost made it through this entire episode without dropping an F-bomb. But at least that's only one F-bomb, so this episode can still be rated PG-13. At least to my knowledge. I might have subconsciously dropped one early. I don't know. But yeah, cell phones, just keep them away. Keep them away. Keep the lips shut. And until the next episode, ladies and gents, I'm JDub for the Real Rush. For the Real Rush. We'll see you next weekend. Peace out and Merry Christmas, everybody.